Hello YouTube, DeGunNut here. As we head towards fall and winter, I thought I would do look at some of the outside waistband holsters I've accumulated over the last year and a half. So I thought I'd go through my outside the waistband holsters, give you an idea of what's worked for me and maybe what hasn't worked as well. Showing two different guns with the holsters. I have some of the holsters are for my Springfield XD, and then I have several of the holsters that are for my Glock 19, and they will also fit my Glock 27. So I'll go ahead and give a little bit of an overview of each holster, and then I will show you what they look like on my person. So the first holster, which I've already had a video on, is the X-Concealment C-Series slide holster. So this accommodates a variety of sizes of Glocks. Not going to go into detail on it since I've already reviewed it, but it is my favorite outside the waistband holster right now, especially for my Glock or my Glocks. So you can see safety check, nothing in that gun. On the Springfield XD, this is my only leather outside the waistband holster I have right now. I'm not sure if you can read that, but it is a Bianchi model 58. I think they call it PI, and it is a leather holster. And let's also safety check the Springfield XD. You can see there's nothing in the chamber and nothing in the magazine. So that is one holster I have for the Springfield XD. Another holster I have for the XD is the Serpa, Blackhawk Serpa holster. This was actually my first holster I ever bought for a semi-auto anyways, and it has the release mechanism, as most people know. This particular version only came with the paddle. It was a cheap version, so I don't have the belt loop. And I'll go into a little more detail when I put it on. Other holsters for the Glocks, I have this Galco Matrix 7X, and what's useful about this one is it does have the snaps, so you can put it on without having to undo your belt. So this one actually is good for me when I'm using it for carry to and from work, because I can't carry in the workplace. So I use it in the winter a lot for that. Another holster, this one is a Corners Concealment holster, and I'm showing it with some belt loops that I made for it. It came with standard injection molded belt loops, but these were just, it didn't quite fit as tight to the body as I had hoped with these. And so I went ahead and bent some Kydex loops myself. They're kind of rough, but they do hold it in tighter to the body for me. And that's for my Glocks. So you can see what it looks like with the Glock in the holster, the 19. And I also have another, the Blade Tech Eclipse. I think I had a little bit of a video on this already as well, so I'm not going to go into detail, but I had modified it so it will work with my Glock 19. It's actually for a Glock 27. Remove the material at the end, and now I can put my Glock 19 in. First up is the Bianchi Model 58, the PI, and you can see what it looks like on. This is my second outside the waistband holster when I thought I might carry my XD, but given the size of the XD, I just didn't care for trying to carry it, so I don't really use this setup. And I don't find the draw nearly as fast as with the Kydex holsters, so I can't say that I'm a big fan of it. With most of these, I'm just going to show you what the holster looks like under my carry vest. Would work the same with the coat. Next up is the Blackhawk Serpa. This is again for my XD. It has the retention device, and a couple things I really don't care for about this holster, at least as far as why I wouldn't choose it to ever try to use for concealed carry, is it sticks way out. My hand fits between the butt of the gun and my side, and it also hangs very low. So it's a very low riding holster. Up next is the Galco Matrix 7X. I'm going to go ahead and put this on camera as well. I use this holster, as I said, when I'm carrying in the winter, and I can just snap it on. It works for my Glock 19 or my Glock 27. Like I said, I usually carry my Glock 27. This does suck it in tighter, definitely tighter than the Serpa, and it holds it fairly high. It's still maybe not as high as I would like, but it does work. I've used this in the winter with the coat over the top of it. It's pretty smooth from drawing. The retention is good. It's almost a little bit high, but it works for the easy on, easy off. Next holster I have on is also for my Glocks. This is a holster from Corners Concealment, and I asked for some custom features on this one. It has more cant than they typically offer. This is in the neighborhood of I think 20 degrees, and their normal cant is 10 degrees if you choose to go with cant. It has a sweat guard, which is sometimes handy to keep the shirt from getting caught in the holster. And then it is I kind of went with the fun color here, the Desert Digital camo color, and it's a nice smooth holster. And it does, like I said, with the modified clips, it does fit pretty snug for me. For my Glocks, it's my X-Concealment C-Series Mod 2 or Gen 2 slide holster, and I really like this holster. It's, out of all of them, it holds it tightest to my body, and it also rides fairly high. So I used this one for a recent class, and it worked great. It has adjustable retention, and I guess also the Four Corners Concealment one I had on just before this also has that adjustable retention, but definitely my favorite outside the waistband holster at the moment. Up next is the Blade Tech Eclipse, and this is one that I already mentioned I did modify. It's for a 27, but I made it also work with this 19, and it's also another decent outside the waistband holster. I do use it on occasion. So again, it is it holds the gun fairly tight to the body, which I like, and the ride's a little lower than I like, so it's one of the things that I like a couple of the other ones better for, but with the long vest, it still covers it up, so another viable option. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on some outside the waistband holsters I have and comparing them. And I don't carry outside the waistband all the time, but when I do, I found that the couple that meet probably the two that meet my needs the most are the Galco Matrix for the easy on, easy off part of it, and then for the X-Concealment, just on how tightly and how high it holds the gun to maximize concealment. So this is preferred when I don't have to take off the holster, and this is preferred when I do. And then, like I said, there are a couple of the others that work fine for me as well. So, thanks YouTube.